Hello, and thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the She Means Business podcast, where we bring together badass women business owners, industry leaders, and other aspiring women to celebrate their success and empower you. I am your host, Ashley Mistowski. I'm a business owner, wife, and mom of twin toddlers. Ambitious is my middle name. Join our email list and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You'll find inspiring content, updates, and the chance to connect with like-minded individuals. Remember to leave a review and share how we've inspired you. Now, let's get to business. Hello, and welcome to the She Means Business podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Mistowski. I am so excited because I get the opportunity today to have our guest, whom I have known, for over 10 years, I think. We met when we both were working in the wedding and event industry here in Las Vegas. She moved away. I changed businesses, but we've always followed each other and just stayed connected on social media. We both have young kids, so it's kind of just been organic that way. Fast forward, this lady has amounted a massive following on Instagram and probably all the other platforms, but I'm mainly on Instagram. I don't go anywhere else or pay attention. So I'll let her, I will let her talk about that, but she has legit found her niche. So let me tell you, I just moved. I just bought a new house and we moved, and I was like, this is a perfect time for this unorganized, crazy mom to legit get her house in order and get her life in line. And so I have honestly been watching her reels for like 3 weeks straight, figuring out, it's a little overwhelming for me, but I'm like, okay, no, one thing at a time. So anyways, but also what's connected me, which I know her and I are soul sisters, is because she is all things pink and glitter. You can't get more Ashley than that. So let us catch up with my good friend, Courtney, the genius behind Keep It Simple Sparkles, which is literally like the best name ever. Hello. Thank you for coming on.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Oh, I just love
laughing.
I swear to you, if you could see who's been viewing and how many times, which I'm sure there's probably something out there for that. I've literally been like, okay, you have too many hacks. I need to see which. I bought your flour containers, the flour and sugar and those. So I'm telling you, I'm hoping I haven't filled them yet, but I'm like, this lady can legit transform my new house.
If I lived closer, I would be like,
oh, I would get you over
your
here
pantry.
For sure.
Okay. Yes. Some people, they have hobbies like pickleball or,
yep.
Whatever. I organize homes. I love it. And I'm waiting for my youngest to go to school full time. I don't want to wish away the years, but I'm also okay, kid,
I'm ready to branch out.
I'm ready to branch out. I want to go help some people, but I'm laughing when you said pink. I'm like, of course I wear
I know.
No pink, not a
I'm not even really,
pink
this
on
is
me
more
right
purple,
now.
but that's fine because you go to your website and it is all things. So
yes,
that is,
it is all
that
things,
is,
pink and glittery.
Yep. Now clarify for our fans here. Your Instagram, where else do you post?
Oh, all the things everywhere.
Okay.
We are on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, as you know, we're on YouTube. Lemon8 is the new little
that's a new one.
app.
Lemon8.
It's a pretty cool site. Small, I think they only have 4 million subscribers, which is a lot of subscribers, but still not compared to some of the larger platforms.
Yeah.
But they're on their way up, and we even dabbled in Clapper for a little bit, which was kind of
haven't even heard of that.
Don't feel bad. So with the onset of all the TikTok stuff going on, a new app emerged that sort of basically is like a clone of TikTok, but it's weird. It is a weird place to be, and we have a presence there, so our name is secured, but we don't post a lot there because it's a unique space. It is. Just keeping,
even when Instagram, I'm all Instagram. even when
Yes.
Instagram came out with threads, I'm like, I can't. I am throwing in the towel. I cannot keep up with all these different things. I'm like, no,
Yep.
staying
Hmm.
tried and true.
Tried and true.
Tried and true. It's
Tried
been a
and true.
long,
I knew
it's it's a Friday. It's
it's
a
a
Friday.
Friday. It's a Friday after working full time and momming full time. Like that's
Yes. After a
yes.
move as well.
After a move. Oh, girl. I've only ever moved with one child, and I told my husband, I was like, this was so fun. I hope you enjoyed every second of it, but we are never
Hmm.
doing it again.
Never
We live
ever.
here. We live here now. Like, this is where we live. And, like, wherever your job takes you, but this is where we live. So,
Yep. You can go on to that job. You can go do that job, but I will stay here with my children.
yes. Yes.
With our
Luckily,
children.
with our children. Yeah. Luckily, he loves what he does, loves who he works for.
Good.
But, like, I'm
Good.
like, this is where we live. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. Well, let's tell people kind of your background, whatever you want to share, because I'd like to lead up to how you are in this crazy space of, influencing, which is kind of like the thing now. And it actually it's always been a thing, but social media, I think, just makes it easier, right? And you get to do what you love and you're clearly good at it. I would just be good at saying, I like this, and that's it. And if you want to do it, but you clearly know all the things with the platforms and whatnot. So let's just tell us your story, like how you got not even started here, but maybe your background of what you did, however far back you want to go.
Yeah. So, like, 1983. No, I'm just kidding. Um,
We don't have that long. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say it was a rainy morning, came busting out into the world. Um, no. So that is such a good question. So, as you know, background in event planning, loved event planning, started off in bridal, started in Las Vegas, left Las Vegas because I knew I wasn't going to meet anybody and I wanted to get married. So moved back to California, Southern California, where I'm from, and eventually met my mother-in-law. She wasn't my mother-in-law yet, but she was my mother-in-law. She was going to be my mother-in-law at some point. I just didn't know it. She's like, I have this great son. Got to meet him. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not marrying your son. Anyway, jokes on her. Married her son, and
That's
we've been
awesome.
married. I know. We've been married for 12 years.
Wow. And he lived in
We
California at the time?
He didn't. He lived
Oh,
in
oh,
Minnesota at the time. So
oh,
yes,
wow.
long distance. We actually met through social media, like officially met.
Sure.
Yes, I was actually at an event, a birthday party in Santa Monica for a client, and I was literally sitting like in the corner of the bar where they were like, "You can sit here and while you're waiting for the party to do its thing." And I'm like, "This is awesome. I love it. I love bar stools." And so I'm sitting there like checking on the event, texting, and so we were texting each other, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm coming to California." I'm like, "That's awesome." Ghosted him for like several months. And just because I had like, I don't know, something like 40 weddings we were working on. It was just like, or 40 weddings and events we were working on in like 4 months. And
Wow.
anyhow,
Yeah.
so he reached out. He's like, "Hey, I'm coming to California. I'd love to get together. We just have dinner." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I totally forgot." So, anyways, we met. We started dating. There's a little bit more in there, but we started dating, got
Yeah.
engaged, and married very fast. He has taken me kind of all over different places: Los Angeles, the Bay Area,
Oh, okay.
Florida. He did eventually move back to California so we could, live in the same house and all that. And then now we're in
Wow.
Arkansas. But, in the middle of that, I was still working, doing all the things with event planning. We got pregnant the first time right before we were going to move to Florida with our daughter. And
Hmm.
she ultimately went to go be with Jesus when I was about 22 weeks pregnant.
Mm.
And of
Yeah.
course, that was gut wrenching and awful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I
even
know
though
that's
she was,
how a lot of us connect, like you and me connected a
mhm,
lot too with the fertility.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
totally.
yes, it was awful. And I know your struggle with what you went
Hmm.
through. And we
Hmm.
both have our stories, and it's
Yep.
just
Yep.
how God has used them and moved in them. And
Hmm.
when she passed, I think, I don't know, I just got into a place where I was like, I had made the decision we were going to have a baby. I'm one of those people that has a ton of anxiety, and I think a lot, I think through a lot of things. And then when I'm ready to like move forward, I'm like, there's no stopping me. We are going to do this. This is where we
Full
are
steam
going.
ahead.
Full steam ahead. And so when Mia went to go be with Jesus, I was like, okay, well, then we're going to try again. We're going to have another baby. And I think my focus went there. We got pregnant with Bradley fairly fast, which probably should have waited probably a little bit longer just so I could have healed mentally.
Sure.
But I think
Yeah.
I just was in that, I was in shock. I was in that place of like,
We
I
think
just,
we're okay. We're not. Little things trigger. It's a
yes.
lot. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a lot, and you're just moving forward, and you're just like, I don't want to feel this pain. And I'm not saying one baby
Yes.
covers up another. I'm just
Correct.
saying I needed to move forward with my life,
Yeah.
even though I should have sat in it for a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we got pregnant with Bradley. Bradley's pregnancy, I was concerned, nervous. We just have to get this baby out. He has to be healthy. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. He comes out. He's perfectly healthy. He came out screaming, like hadn't passed the shoulders, and he's screaming his little head off. And I was like, what did I give birth to?
You're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And he didn't stop screaming, crying, and he didn't sleep for like a good 8 months. And so like that does something to a person. And
Yes, it does.
I think my mind shifted from like, I need to keep this baby alive in my stomach to, oh my gosh, he's out. And now I need to keep him alive on earth. And every bit of
Mine are
anxiety
2.5, and I still say that every day. Like, how do I keep them alive? Like,
well, they actively
that's
try
my
to kill
goal.
themselves on a
They
daily
do.
basis.
They do.
They do.
They do.
Especially Andrew. He's my king of that. But anyhow, I was like, okay, I got to keep this baby alive. I developed something called PPA, postpartum anxiety, where I just was so scared something would happen to
Mm-hmm.
him, something would happen to me, something would happen to my husband, something was going to happen because we had the rug pulled out from underneath us. And I think my brain had altered itself to think that's just how life is.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the worst that could happen, and that's just what always happens. And it was rough. So Bradley's first year of life, so difficult. I had left event planning because I couldn't travel anymore and do that with a baby. I'd gone from this really like high powered career where it was a lot of fun, working with pro sports teams and things like that, to being home with a small child, like just terrified every single day of my life because something bad was going to happen, alone with my thoughts. It was awful. Like if you are a new mom and you have postpartum anxiety and you are at home alone with your thoughts, get out of your house.
It is.
Go find a mom's
it's
group.
rough. Mm-hmm.
It is so rough. So year goes by, we move here to Arkansas where, it's getting a little bit better. Bradley's sleeping, which helps a whole lot.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
we decide, we're like, yeah, let's have another baby. We forgot what it was like to go through what we went through the first like year. Like, let's have another baby. We tried for 9 months to get pregnant. It was really hard to get pregnant because I know my hormones were really off. And I was a little older too. Yeah. Finally get pregnant with Andrew. We're like 6 months into the pregnancy. It dawns on me everything that I went through with Bradley. And I was like, what if we go through it again? What if this is the norm for babies? Like, what if we're just not strong? Like, just everything. And I went, no.
Good for you.
I'm not going through it again.
Pulled yourself out of it.
Yes. And I may cry a little bit because I'm a crier. And I used to say I'm not a crier. I am 100% a crier.
Own it. Own it.
I'm owning it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Bradley needs me to be strong. My husband needs me to be strong. And God did not make me to be this way. Yeah. So I was like, okay, what are we doing? What are we going to do here? And
okay, now what do I do?
Now what do I do? I'm like, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. But what are we doing?
Yes.
So we got to do something. And I'm like, well, I can't go back to event planning because that is a life-sucking.
That world is not cut out. Yes.
No. And those people that do it with kids, I'm like,
they have an entire village. Not that we don't have it, but like at their fingertips type of village.
That is accurate. That is accurate. So I follow other influencers and I was like, well, heck, I like products. I like things that make my life easier. I like hacks and tips. And, being an event planner, I had to figure out a lot of hacks and tips and ways to figure out situations in the heat of the moment. And I know you were there, especially in the floral world, like there's things you just figure out. And that was my long-winded story. So basically I was pregnant and was like, something to do. I need something to be creative. And that's where it started.
Gosh. So like I always, I kind of relate influencing. The easiest relatable way for me is like weight loss, right? Like
Hmm.
it doesn't happen overnight, but I'm impatient.
Correct.
Like, how did you keep going though? Like, you don't have many followers, and how do you know it was worth your time? Like, tell me that mind shift, because every so often, sometimes I'm like, gosh, I'm 40 now. Like, this is weird that I even want to dive into this influencing world. Not that I
Hmm.
do, but I kind of like the outlet, because me personally, how I've gotten to be successful in my line of work is all relationship and networking. Like that's
Hmm.
all I do outside of social media, but I connect and stay in touch with them on social media, right? So I go to
Right.
events. I literally tell people, I'm like, I'm an insurance agent, but all I do is go out and make friends. I'm not what you think is a used car salesman. Like that's
Right.
not that's what everybody thinks. And I'm like,
Hmm.
no, I literally just make new friends. And they genuinely, I'm just naturally my normal self. So I genuinely care. I think that passion comes across, and they know they're going to be, people trust people that they know, they do business with people they know, like, and trust. So
Right.
naturally, what I do would be an easy switch into the influencer world. But how did you keep going? Like I kind of said to you before, like I remember looking at your page somehow, because I just wanted your update or something, because I hadn't heard from you in a while, and all of a sudden you sparked back up thanks to the algorithms. And I'm like, oh yeah, she moved. How is she doing? And then, I saw the babies, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I happened to see, like, oh, that's cool. Like she has this, it was probably right when you started. And I
Hmm.
was like, oh, there's like 6,000 followers or something, which is a lot. But I'm like, and
Right.
then like a few months ago, I just kept seeing you, which of course is algorithm, but
Right.
you know what it was? I was trying to find a reel remember I had seen of yours, and I wanted to do it. So I went to your page and I was like, when did this happen? I was like, oh, my followers. Because how many followers do you have on Instagram?
That is such a good question. I think we're at 230.
I was going to say it's well over 100. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy. Like she is doing the damn thing. So how did you get your mindset? Like how did you just keep going, doing what you're doing? Like what was your thought process in that?
Really good question. I think number one, I was never going back to okay. Like there's a song and I forget who it's by, but it's like we're never going back to okay. It's a Christian song. And
Okay.
like that's so my fight song. I'm like, I'm never going back to okay. I'm never going back to this. I'm never, I'm not going back to the way I was when I was a new mom and I was sitting in my anxiety, not using the creative brain that I had. I think another part of it was the challenge. Like, okay, that didn't work. I'm going to try this. That didn't work. I'm going to try this. And I'm going to keep trying because I have it in my
Wow.
brain. I'm going to do something. We are doing it. And like a lot of times I tell myself, like in my car, I'm like, I am Amelia's mom. I am Bradley's mom. I am Andrew's mom. I can do hard things.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Sometimes you need like a pep talk.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
yeah,
I do it every
you
day.
know, oh my gosh, yeah, you have to. The mindset is just have a goal. I don't know. My goal was never really follower oriented. I mean, yes, I wanted to build
Sure.
a wonderful group of friends. I wanted to build that. I wanted to help people. But my goal could never be, I want to make 1 million followers because that's just going to run out of steam.
Yeah.
The goal has to be, I want to help someone.
I want
I
to
want
make
to
a
help
difference.
someone.
Yeah.
I want to make a difference,
Yeah.
but I want to help. I want to help someone. And if I help someone, you know, that's I've succeeded. And
It's
that's
such a
always been my
selfless
goal.
mindset. And that really is,
Mhm.
I think, sometimes when you truly have the right vision, that's when the Lord provides and is like, I know this is more than yourself. Like, you're not doing this so you can be all, I totally understand that for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, because it's easy to get wrapped up in it, and it is
Hmm.
easy to get. I mean, like when you have, as I mentioned before, typically what happens is it's not you're not building a wonderful audience from every single video. In fact, most of your videos probably aren't. If I look at all my analytics, I don't really look at my analytics. I know I'm supposed to, but I really don't,
I'm the
because
same way.
it's kind of like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
all read differently, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're telling me right
It
now.
is
Like,
what it
I don't
is.
know.
I just doing what I love.
Yes, in
Let
reading
it
that they
play out.
only, only watched up to 13 seconds of a 60-second video that literally took blood, sweat, and tears to make. I'm not going to look at
Yes.
that because I'm going to
Yes.
cry because I was like, it could have been
I hear
13
you.
seconds long. Okay.
Yes.
But most of the videos gain maybe one follower, maybe two followers, but you're going to have a handful of videos that gain, 1,000 followers or,
Hmm.
even 10,000 followers. And you literally just have to keep swinging the bat and trying,
Yep.
to help as many people as you can. You're not going to be liked by everyone. That's kind of a big thing you have to get the mindset around. You're
Yep.
not going to be liked by everyone.
There are
You're going to make it.
so many keyboard warriors in this world.
There 100% are. You're
Hmm.
not going to be for everyone. But my mindset is that I can only share what works for me. I can't share what works for everybody. I can
Yep.
only share what works for me. And if a part of it works for you, all of it works for you, or heck, none of it works for you, and you're just here for the foot pops, like, great,
You do some of your like dusting and cleaning ones. I watch, but I swipe.
right, right, right,
I'm
because
not
it's
doing
not for
that.
you.
I appreciate you. That's not
Yeah.
for me, but I'm going to go to these ones. Like, this is going to be
Exactly.
beneficial to me.
Mhm. You're the organizing follower. You're
Yes.
the one that
Yes.
wants to know about organizing and
Yes.
how to, handle your house. You may find a cleaning one, say you've got, pen in your carpet or,
Yes.
something like that. Not that I've done a video
Yep.
on that. I need to, but
Ah, there you go.
that's
Jot the notes.
that's what, yeah, where you're gonna go. But like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, everybody kind of goes everywhere. So no, nobody's gonna love every single video you make,
Right.
and everybody's gonna have an opinion on it, and that's okay. And some of the, like, my husband always says, feedback is a gift, honey, and I'm like, you're so cute, thank you, honey. But
Mm,
he's
I
not
like his outlook.
wrong.
No,
Yes,
no.
exactly. He's not wrong. It is a gift, and
And just for the
um,
people listening, I need you to explain what you call your husband because it's fantastic. I just love the whole thing.
Mr. Sparkles, Mr. Sparkles, he's
And I
so
bet you he
funny.
owns it.
He does own it. My husband is a very quiet man. If you met
So
him,
is mine. I think our husbands are very much alike, to be honest.
but we couldn't get him in a room together because they'd probably just sit there and be like, "Hey,
Yep.
hey,
Yep.
yeah, you, you like football? Okay."
Yep.
Because your husband, he's a Raider fan, right?
No, but he played football at Arizona State. So big football
Why
football
did I? No,
player.
you guys are Oregon.
Don't lump him into that.
Okay,
He will have a
okay, fair
coronary.
enough.
He
Okay, I'm
played football at
sorry.
Arizona
Okay,
State. So we are very much not um, husband and wife during football season. Although now that the Pac-12 is no longer, I think we're back to okay in our marriage for football
okay,
season. So I at
yeah,
least have that. No, but
that's
you're on
good.
the
That's
you're on the
good.
right path. I'm the big Duck fan.
You're the big duck guy. Okay,
Yes.
that's what I'm. Why did I think Raiders? Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, Brad's really really quiet, and but he has some funny things to say, and
Yes.
he definitely gets
And when they
asked.
talk, you need to listen because it
Yes,
is okay. Got it. I get it.
yes,
Otherwise, you let me run my show and do what I want. But when they talk, I'm like, ooh, you now have an opinion. I need to actually listen to this. I get it. Okay.
yes, yes, exactly. Oh, 100% agree with that.
Yep. Yep. That's funny. That's awesome. So you just kept going. Okay. Now inquiring minds want to know because for my insurance agency, have an influencer that created a business. Personally, she's an influencer with hundreds of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers. But she owns a business that strictly does this, and so she does all
Hmm.
these reels for my insurance agency and all that. But she has a
Hmm.
team of people, and it's been fun to watch her. Are you doing all of this? Because we're the same age. So are you doing all of this yourself, or do you have help? You don't have to give away your secrets. I'm just curious.
Are there multiple sparkles?
Are there?
Uh, yes, I do have a team.
That is
I have a
awesome.
wonderful team.
That's
And
awesome.
really, most of the team is myself and Tracy.
Okay.
She is my right-hand gal, helps with so many things and just kind of an extra set of eyes and ears. She'll go through the DMs. We both go through DMs together. A lot of times she answers a lot of the DMs that are like, I need a link for this, or do you have a video on this? Or, just the really like,
Yeah. Easy ones.
like
Yeah.
the easy ones, yes. And so like, but if I get something really personal and people do share their very personal stories with me, which I always encourage because I'm like, good,
Well, because
yes,
you've
let's
been
connect.
open on your journey. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
I'm like, I want to hear your journey. Like, I want to hear
Hmm.
about you. Like, I'm that person in the grocery store line that you do not want to get in front of if you do not want to talk. Because I'm
Yeah.
going to talk to you. I'm going to hear your life story and I want to hear all about it. And I'm like, and I'm genuinely fascinated by it.
Yes.
People
Yes.
fascinate me. And so I want to hear it. So those really sweet, wonderful stories, like if I don't catch it coming through on my watch, and yes, I do catch them all coming through on my watch, or on my
Do you
phone,
really?
I do. I see everything come through. Now I filter through and can kind of see like, okay, this is, if somebody's asking for a link, Tracy will get that one. Somebody's sharing their story with me. Boom, I'm clocking in and I'm checking this out because I want
Wow.
people to feel
Yep.
that they have a connection because they do have a
Yeah.
connection. Like this
Yeah.
is social media. Like
Hmm.
I'm here to be social and
Yep.
share and I want to hear. So when those sweet messages come through, whether I see it or Tracy sees it first, she sends it my way. And we kind of, I jump in and I'm like, okay, this person, let me talk to them. And like, I want to talk to them and I want to
Hmm.
share, or even if it's just like kind words somebody said to me, like the amount of not kind that can come through is astonishing. And I can tell you which app is probably the worst.
Ooh, please tell
But
me. I
oh
just
my gosh,
want.
okay, so let's get the tea. This is fun.
Yeah. I was like,
Um,
spill the tea. Let's go.
this is so much more fun than my story.
Heck
Okay,
yeah.
yay.
No.
Okay. The worst is probably the ones with the nastiest comments are probably Facebook. And
Oh,
but I
I
know.
didn't see
I
that
know you
coming.
I know. You would think it was the other ones, but
Yeah.
it's probably Facebook. They're probably the ones I get the nastiest comments from. Now let me preface this. 83% of the comments that come through my channel are so kind and so wonderful and just
Sure.
so positive and cheering me on. And I will never take that for granted.
No.
The others that aren't, usually the worst is Facebook. Second is probably TikTok, but I kind of have a theory that the since Facebook is usually more people our age and maybe a little bit older because it's a very
Yep.
it's been around for a long time.
That's kind of
Uh,
why I'm shocked, to be honest. I'm like,
yeah.
I feel like it's the older crowd, and they shouldn't be keyboard warriors, but I guess
Oh
maybe they
man,
don't have
there's
anything better to do.
I mean, you said it. That's all I'm gonna say. Like you said it, I just, you took the fifth on that
You're just
one.
gonna nod your head and look
Um,
pretty.
I'm gonna nod my head, and look pretty. Like, yeah, no, she said it wasn't me. But I'm convinced that on TikTok is the next worst, and
Hmm.
those are the kids from the Facebook keyboard warriors, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yes, we do get those, and YouTube is also kind of coming up on there. It's just I don't have as big a following on YouTube.
Sure.
Um, but one thing I love about YouTube is that I started YouTube in the last like 8 or 9 months,
Oh, okay.
and it's grown really well because they introduce shorts, and I don't have time to do the long form videos. I want to, I just don't have that time. So they
It's a
introduce
lot. I've gotten really
it's a
more
lot.
into the shorts because I can really
Hmm.
just take the reels and when I say me, my
Yeah,
social media team, not me. And
hundred
kind of the
percent.
reason why I brought this up while I was asking about, the team is we are that I don't like to lump my I don't like to say I'm a millennial because we
Right.
are they called it exennials for us. It was like the
Hmm.
80 to 85 babies
Hmm.
that were in between because true millennials I think started like in 86 if I'm not mistaken or something like that. And so we were like, hey, we still had the dial-up modem. We're still
Hmm.
learning, like we're still navigating,
Mm-hmm.
but still have the old school stuff. Technology is not my friend. Like it took
Right.
me months to figure out how to post a reel, like months.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it
Mm-hmm.
drives me nuts. And I'm like, I'm not creative. Part of it's because I'm not creative, but some of it's like, it's just over my head. I'm like, so then the fact that I
Right.
have to do something for TikTok, but then you have to take the watermark off, right? And then you have to put it on Insta. Like, I understand the concepts and I understand what you have to do, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a full-time job.
It is.
It is
Yes.
literally a full-time job. And I'm like, I'm good at insurance. I think
This
this is
is
where
it.
I stay in my own lane and hire out.
Hey, that is fair enough. It is hard. I actually have a girlfriend. I'm helping her right now. She's doing this as well. She's trying to get in, kind of a small following. She's doing really well. She does more like gifts, creative parties, like how to, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
so very different from me, but it's been so fun to watch her grow. Well, in the first month, she texted me and she's like, I've never worked so hard for no money in my life. And I was like, yeah, it's
It's,
hard and you make
yep.
nothing in the beginning, and usually the only comments you get are, why are you making videos? And you just kind of have to let it all go and persevere. And
I guess maybe
um
leave it as you like in my head when I'm listening to you, I'm like, even if I wanted to go this route or just have, fun with this route, is I need to treat it that way. Like I'm just going to keep
mhm.
going because I'm enjoying it. And if it takes
Yes.
off, it takes off. If not, I'm enjoying myself and it's fun. I'm not
Yes.
expecting to become a millionaire or anything like that, even though you
Right.
see some crazy stats out there. How long did it take before you finally saw, I'm not saying decent, but like a
Mhm.
consistent income, no matter how small or large?
Well, it's hard. So, like, getting into like, let's debunk a couple things about
Sure.
influencing,
Yes,
because
please.
like, I
Please.
feel like we need to do like a debunking here.
Yes.
Okay, so I've had people ask me, how much are they paying you to do this video? How much do you make off this video? You make nothing. Like
Yeah.
Facebook,
It-
Instagram, all that. Like they sometimes have something called Reels bonus. I think I
yeah.
got a check for $5.95 from
Oh,
Instagram.
I
So
beat you. I
like,
got $50 one time. I was like, yes, I'm getting into this world. I
yeah,
was like,
girl.
I don't know how. And then it went away. And I was like,
The old bonus. Okay, so in all fairness, yes, the old bonus was better. I think the most I ever made was a couple $100 off of it. But even so, that's a
yeah.
full-time job where you're making literally not even like fractions of a penny a day. So like you don't get paid to make videos, like you don't get
Yep.
paid, or well, let me rephrase it. You don't get paid for people watching your videos. You don't get paid for the reach unless you are on YouTube, but you have to reach a status on YouTube that
Isn't it
is
a
so
lot?
far up. It's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot before you start seeing real money from that.
Hmm.
I'm like, we have over 40,000 wonderful friends on YouTube, and we're not even close to that. Like,
Yeah.
we're not even close
Yeah.
to the stats to be. We can now like run ads and like advertise the channel. Like, they're like, now you can pay us to tell other people about your channel. Congratulations.
Now we'll allow you to pay us.
Now we'll allow you to pay us. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. You guys,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so blessed.
That's so funny.
But we haven't gotten to that place. So yes, they have Reels bonuses, but you're not making, especially now. They used to be okay. Now they're really, really not great. So you don't make money per view. Yes, there are brand deals out there. And they can be lucrative, but that's usually after you've done several with them and they've seen really good
Mm.
sales and they go, okay, yes, your video is worth paying X amount of dollars for, but that
Yeah.
takes several videos and several people clicking and
Sure.
buying the product because of you. So that can take a long time too. The other day on Saturday, I actually spent 3 hours going through emails saying no to, I think I went through 100 emails and said no to 95% of them, because you get email after email after email of like, try this product, take this thing, tell us about the product. All we need is a video of it. And da 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 da. I'm like, I can't, oh my gosh. Like, my favorite
Wow.
one was the most recent one was a feminine product for deodorizing down there. And I was like, I
Oh,
shut the laptop. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done now. I can't do these. I
you're like,
can't.
so
This
what
is
am I really supposed to do on like,
yes. Yes. So
no,
you
this isn't my
yes.
jam.
No, this is not my jam. No. So no, it takes a little bit of time to see an income,
Yeah.
an actual lucrative one.
I figured that influencers in general make the most money when you link your Amazon store, even though I know it's pennies upon probably the purchases. But if you're
Hmm.
having all these followers and all these views and people linking, because, it's interesting because people do make fun of influencers, right? But at the same time,
Right.
my life's chaotic. I've got twins. I'm running a business. You just
Hmm.
posted this cute outfit or the flower gadgets that you had that I purchased from you.
Hmm.
Well, through your link, but you
Which
made
you
it
are going to
easy.
love. I
Oh,
love
I'm
those
so
things.
excited. I'm so excited. Um, so you made it easy to just jump on. Now, the only times that I take a step back is when it's a real big expense, right? Then I'm like, I pay for convenience. That's where I'm at in my life. If it's more money, but it was way more convenient, let me tell you, I will
Right.
not go on Black Friday shopping. I don't like crowds. I don't do mornings. I don't do that many people. So I'm not doing that to save $50 on a TV. I will 100% pay the full price. So I don't have to do
Yes.
any of that garbage. And in Oregon, it was a big thing. I haven't seen it in Vegas, but I grew up in Oregon. And it was the socks at Fred Meyer's. I don't know if you're familiar with Fred
Okay.
Meyer's. They're Kroger,
The name
but
sounds
it's
really
like,
okay. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So it's like, it's a grocery store, but they have furniture and clothing and all these things attached. We call it Freddy's. Like, I love Freddy's. And the biggest
yeah.
thing
Fun.
on Black Friday was their sock sale. So people would even go the nights before and the weeks before and hide the socks all over the store. Like they finally got to where Freddy's employees had contests and I'm aging myself because I don't know how relevant this is, in the last 5-10 years or so, but this is when I was in Oregon, so
Right.
15 years ago.
Hmm.
But then employees would have like a contest the day before Black Friday or when they closed on Wednesday, who could find the most socks and put them back in the right positions. I'm like, to save what, 50%? I don't know. Like, that's not, here's $20. Go, I don't know. I can't do it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I, you know,
I hear
that I
that.
digress. But the it's convenient, right? Like you just
Yes.
showed me this. Yes, it's kind of an impulse purchase, but you made it look so easy, whatever you just, talked about, whatever you
Hmm.
just did. But now I can just go, honestly, I like just going to your Amazon store because I'm like, especially now in my new house, I'm like, okay, let me see all this
Get all
other
the
stuff
goodies.
she has. I know, like,
Right.
I remember the flour and sugar and baking soda and brown sugar containers, but I know there's other
Hmm.
things she talked about. So I'm just going to go to her Amazon store and go wild. So I know what I, Amazon charges the same amount if I go to
Thank
Amazon
you, by
without
the
you.
way.
Of
Right.
course, because I'm a big supporter of you're still a small business. I am
Yeah.
a big supporter of other women, just anybody that are doing small businesses. I will pay the extra cost. It was beyond me when we owned the bakery. We would have people come in that make more than enough money. Let's just say that.
Right.
More than enough money. But they were friends with one of our silent partners.
Hmm.
And they would come up and buy a cookie and a couple cake pops. And they'd literally
Hmm.
be like, I'm friends with so and so. Do I get a friends and family discount?
Wow.
My
Like,
mind
I don't get to say
would
that to
be
the cable company.
like, you wanted your order was like 15. Now, the massive custom cakes, sure, I can understand that. It's a big savings. But
Right. Right.
here's your $2.10 savings.
Hmm.
Thank you for supporting my small business. Like it's something like that. Just
Hmm.
it always drove me nuts. And so I'm very
Hmm.
particular with my friends. I support them all the time. And I'm like, do not discount it. Do not do that.
Hmm.
I am
Hmm.
supporting you. I want to pay the full price. So my
Yes.
biggest thing is I'm like, well, even if I go to Amazon, it's going to be the same price as what's in your store. I might as well
Right.
support you. So that's probably where I know we just went down a couple different rabbit holes, but that's where you probably make the majority of your income, I'm assuming, is like the links.
Yes, that is actually accurate. And to your point, yes, it is pennies on the dollar. It's, I still remember when I made my first like 66 cents. I was like, I made 66
Yes.
cents. And this is and at that point I think I had made, I don't know, 2 or 300 reels, and I was like, it's a penny a
It's
reel.
paying off.
It's paying off, honey. Like, a stick of gum is on me. Like, we got this.
That's hilarious.
That is where a bulk of it comes
Yeah.
from. But it's hard too because you get people that say, oh, I don't want to use your link because they think it charges more, or they assume that I'm making all this money from these videos, and they're like, I'm not doing that. I'm not giving her the credit. And I'm like, you realize that I take time away from my family to search out these hacks and things that make our life easier, and then I
Yeah.
take time away to make the videos, and hours. I mean, I'm talking 6 hours of my
Oh,
life for
I
those
know how
videos
long it
for
takes
each
me to make
one.
a reel. I'm like, all
Yeah.
of this that you're doing with your hack and with your, I'm like, the amount of time she puts into this blows my mind. Absolutely. Yeah.
Like I said, it is for the love. It's not for the money. And
Yep.
I'm doing this
Yep.
because I enjoy doing it.
Yep.
But, on the other side too, like I think that that's the thing that frosts my cookies the most, is when like we've gone to all this
Frost
trouble
my
to find
cookies.
this. And
Hmm.
I mean,
I love
it's a
you.
good bakery reference for you. I love you
Yeah.
too. Frost my cookies the most, is when like I have, we have the link, and it's like we've curated this, we've done this, we've done the work, we've done the legwork, and then people actively like, and they will tell me they're not using it, like to make a point, like, I found it online for this, and I'm like, hey, that's cool. Like, I'm glad. I'm mostly I had to get to a place where I was like, you know what, Courtney, you are helping people,
Yep.
whether you get compensated for it or not. You are helping someone, and that is enough. And that's the
You go
mindset I
back to
had to
your
get to
original
kind.
mission. Hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. The
Yep.
mindset is enough. They go and find it on Amazon themselves.
Great.
Fantastic. I've had people yell at me about the electric spinner scrub brushes that you use in the shower.
Yep.
Those things are not created equal. There are lots of very crappy ones on the market. Can I say crappy? Is that okay? Is
Yes.
that okay? Okay,
I
good.
swear, actually, so
Okay.
you're good.
Okay, fantastic. Well, shoot. No, I'm just kidding. But there's a lot of crappy versions on the market. I've filtered out a lot of those crappy versions. Oftentimes I'll buy multiples of a product of different kinds. Like right now I'm testing those vacuum squeegees that I've tried
Oh.
one. I like it okay. But I'm trying another one and I'm really liking it. I'm like, so just no product is created equal. So when
Hmm.
an influencer is like, I like this product, usually they're not getting it for free. Usually they bought it themselves, which is most of the things I share are
Yeah.
things I bought myself, because you can't just sit around waiting for an email to come through that's like, hey, try this product. Because 9/10 of them are like things that make your, what, smell better.
Right.
And you're just like,
Yay. Just what I want to do.
yay,
Right
thank
on
you.
brand.
Yes, I cannot wait to make a video about
Yes.
that.
Yes.
But yes, so and most of the time influencers, they buy the stuff. They are the ones testing it. Now there are exceptions. There are those people that are just paid to share, what a company gives them. Usually it's people that have a huge, massive following, and I'm
You
saying
know
like a
what,
million,
though?
two
I was
million.
thinking this when you were talking is I feel like you really can weed out the genuine, like when they genuinely like a product versus you clearly know they are
Yes.
paid. And I feel like
Yes.
celebrities are easy. Like, okay, they clearly aren't using that. That's straight up, you're being paid for
Yes.
this. Like, I've
Yes.
seen Khloe
Or when a
Kardashian
size
on stuff,
zero
and I'm like,
model.
yes. You're like,
Yes.
no,
Or like,
no.
those like size zero models that are eating, bits of chocolate from Godiva. I'm like, you don't eat chocolate. Like that's not, you don't do
No,
that.
no.
That's not believable to
Look,
me.
the other
Um,
day I saw somebody, a celebrity, doing Home Chef, and I'm like, but they were a high enough celebrity. I was like, I know you have a personal chef. There is no way you are doing this in your kitchen. No way. And I don't
yes.
mean to
Tell me the name
pigeonhole,
of your home chef.
I know, right? I'm like, no, I really need your home chef, not the business, not
Yeah.
the company bread.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
interesting. So I just love that this platform you've been able to kind of, because you're such a go-getter hustler anyways, coming from the event industry, working so hard, and just being on top of your game. You're the typical, that's probably why I've always been like, I've always loved working with you, because we're very similar mentalities of, we're just not going to roll over and be a doormat type of woman. And so like, I just love that you were able to, I just always have so much more respect for women like you that just, I'm going to do it. I'm going to create something. I'm going to put my mind to it. I'm going to have my ups and downs, right? We all do. And it's all about getting through. That's what I've been focusing on the last 2 years, because kids totally like just humble you. And like, how am I supposed to do this now? Running a business, keeping 2 humans alive, all the things. And I love that you've been able to make this into a business, but now you already have the future planned out once, kids. I love the flexibility that you've been able to create. So next time you come to Vegas, you will be able to write it off and enjoy my walk-in pantry.
I can just stay at your house.
Yes,
yes,
absolutely.
Stay at your house, and
I have a pool,
we can
so
stay
come
up
in the
all
summertime.
night.
Done.
Girl, I'm not coming to Vegas in the summertime. I remember
Well,
what
I got
that
a pool.
was like.
We just hang out in the pool and
enough.
then clean the pantry during the day.
At night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See?
Oh yeah, during the, because we're in air conditioning. See, there you go. See, I could do that. I could totally do that. Yeah, no. That is the goal one day, is to start
That's awesome.
going and helping people. I don't know if I'll be able to, I hope to travel one day. My mom is currently building a house right now. It should be done in a couple weeks.
Oh, you're going to have a blast with that. And is she over in, how far away?
I'm so excited.
You have to travel, if I remember correctly. She's not right near you, right?
No, yeah, she's in Texas, in Austin. Okay. So it's an 8-hour drive. I mean, with kids it's 12, but like, it's a good 8-hour drive. And it's hard. So like, we love where we live, but the hard part about where we live is you kind of have to tour the United States to get to anywhere, unless you're going to Dallas or Atlanta or Salt Lake City.
That's such a bummer.
One of the big hubs. It kind of is. Yeah, it's hard. But we have this tiny little airport that is amazing. And like security, you run into the guy from security who's your neighbor and you're like, hey, how you doing? It's cool. Kind of like, we kind of live in Mayberry, but not really. It's kind of, it's a cool place to live.
I love it.
Yeah, that's the goal, is to start, helping other people. And we've all seen my pantry and, various cabinets reorganized, especially with the kitchen remodel and stuff. Like, people are tired of seeing my stuff. Like, let's see some other houses. And
that's great. I love that you already, like, that makes total sense. And then you're like even shifting it even more, because now you're going to have other things and other people's, you helped me, because you kept doing freezer organization, and I have that deep freeze chest, and I'm like, okay, can you please do something? Because what do I do? Like, how we need to make
that
this
is my
easier.
number one requested video.
Yes, because it's annoying.
It is annoying. It is annoying. So I found, I've done a lot of research on this, because I don't have a deep freezer like that, and we want to be deep freezer people. We just haven't like found that part of our life.
No, you know what? Costco has a standing one. I know you're a Sam's girl, but Costco has the standing one with all the shelves, and that's on my I want list, because the deep freezer is terrible. But you do what you got to do with what you have.
You do what you got to do.
Yep.
Yes. And we want to do that, because I saw that. I was like, I will drive to Tulsa to get that deep freezer from Costco. Like, I will happily do that. But I want it like built in the garage to have it so it looks like, my husband's. We were laughing about that, but as far as like the deep freezer, okay, so I've done a ton of research on this, on like how to do it, and a friend of mine does have a deep freezer, and she's like, anytime you come over and organize it. I just haven't had the time to do it. Yeah. But there are these buckets, and they're stackable buckets, and they all have handles, and they're basically kind of like bins for each type of meat.
Okay.
And they're large enough to hold big pieces of meat, and they can stack on. So really, you're just moving like 2 buckets out of the way to get to the bottom, or 1 bucket to get to the middle, or, just on the top, whatever, I'm explaining it very poorly, but, it was the most functional way. Yeah. Like functional way of like making this work. And I'm saying buckets, and they're not, they're square. They're, they fit, not seamlessly together, but they do fit together.
Right.
And it was just such a great concept. I was like, I want to try this. So it's been on my bucket list.
I'm patiently waiting. So I'm patiently waiting.
So sorry. I know it has been on my list forever.
I love it.
Like, between like the kids and Andrew running into this phase of like trying to actively like, go crazy and kill himself on a daily basis. I mean, not really. He's just like he's my runner.
It's that
Like
age.
he's
Yeah.
my child.
Yeah.
It's the age. It's the age. He'll run away from me. And I feel like I'm constantly on this poor child. And I'm just not in a place where I can take a lot of time off to go do things because I'm like, I don't know what he's going to do. Like I
Yep.
was at Tracy's house helping her organize her refrigerator, and I was like, I had to bring him with me because I was like, it was just the day that it worked out. Otherwise, Tracy, I was like, it's going to be a good month before I can get over there. So I brought him, and he's in there, and I'm like trying to do work and trying to help her, and I'm like, and I'm just terrified of what
Yep.
he's going to do. So, he's the kid on island time, and he's a silent runner. Like if you met him, you'd be like, this is the most chill child ever. He didn't come from me. We took the wrong kid home, but he's a very chill little child. So yeah. But anyway, that's yes, long-winded way of saying
Nope.
yes. That is
I
the
love it.
ultimate goal.
Yep.
Well, because my home doesn't have everything that your home has,
Yeah.
or you have things that like.
But
you
I was
may
like,
have
I
a
could
space
use
in
your
kitchen.
brain because this is a problem
Yes.
that needs to be solved.
Yes.
And you, of all people,
Yes.
can solve it.
Well, yeah. And thank you. I appreciate that. Well, and we tried with like Zoom calls with Sparkles, which are still a thing. We are still booking those, but nothing beats standing in your home
Yeah.
saying, with a like a box of stuff, trying
Yeah.
things. That's why I went over to Tracy's house with a big old box of stuff because I have a ton of stuff that's left over and I've used. And I'm like, okay, if you have this option, you can use this.
Yeah.
And I'm fitting stuff in there, and I'm just like, nothing works better than standing in somebody's home and helping them. So
For sure.
that's kind of the goal for
Awesome.
2025, 2026 school year.
Yay! I'm excited to watch. I've really enjoyed watching your journey, and now being
Thank
able
you.
to say I know an influencer who has this massive following. Like I actually know her. So
And it's funny to
kudos.
me because it doesn't get to my head at all. Like I know that sounds really
No.
dumb to say, and I don't mean
Yeah.
it, but
No.
like truly, I'm like, I don't think of it other than I'm sharing with my family and friends.
Yeah.
Like, and when
That's
people
awesome.
like will come up to us at Disney World or in the store, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I do that. Like I do, like it's weird. It's kind of a weird
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
and I think it's because I'm not a celebrity. I'm
Yeah.
not somebody who's
No.
around a bunch of people telling you how great you are. And
Yeah.
I'm glad for that. I don't want to be
Yeah.
anything like that. But I'm literally just a person in a home throwing out videos. And that is, yes, to your point or to your question earlier, is it me doing it? Yes, I am the one videoing, I'm the one editing. I have a tripod, I do the voiceovers, I do all of that all by myself. And it's just me throwing videos out there of like, this is what helped
Wow.
me. And like before this phone call, I was upstairs filming something, and then Andrew was up there, and we're all trying to get everybody down for nap. And so it's momming, it's working, it's trying to
Yep.
figure everything.
Yep.
I feel like I'm just this crazy person running through the house with my tripod, like, okay, we're going.
It just becomes normal.
It just becomes normal. Yes, exactly. Although I do try to like. Somebody once said, they were like, you should document every bit of your life for Instagram. I'm like, that is how you lose your life.
It's
So
hard.
we share a little bit. It's hard not
It's
to because
hard.
everything is
I've noticed
content.
when you go on trips and stuff, but I'm like, I don't know. Even like in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, I should totally be filming this. Like this would be a good reel. But I'm like,
Right?
no, I'm just in the moment. Like I'm really enjoying. I did
Yeah.
get my kids. We had to make pizza last night for dinner. And I got them. I was like, okay, no, I'm setting up the phone. So I'm actually doing that after we get done with our call. So I'll post that of them roll the pizza dough. But it's just a lot. And you're like, I really do just want to enjoy my life. But it's social media. It's part of it's the new norm, in all honesty. And it's how I get a lot of my business. That is your business. So you just adopt and evolve as things go, right?
Yeah.
Like that's awesome.
Yes. When it's hard because it's like you want people to know who you really are. And unfortunately with my reels, the one thing is that it is very much we are quick, we are fast. I'm showing you what it is, and it's hard to get to know my personality unless you listen to the voiceover and kind of catch the little quirks I say.
Yes.
But the only way to get to know me is through stories and to know I am a real human being.
Yep.
I'm not a robot. I'm not a team of 50 people. I'm literally a mom who needs to use her creative brain. And these are kind of our stories. So I share a little about our family just so you can get to know me.
Because that's the
family.
thing is you're relatable. Like you're like, this is that's how it gets, you know what I mean? So I totally, that's how you genuinely grow. That's exactly how I've tried to, I care. I'm not just selling you a policy. Like, I actually want to help you. Shocker.
Yes. That's how I feel. I'm like when I talk about vacuum mops that I haven't shut up about for the last 3 years because they're freaking amazing.
Yep.
And I'm not even joking you. Like, they changed my life.
Yep.
And I'm not sitting here like Tinaco didn't come to me and say, "Will you share this product?" I went to them and was like, "Hey, I love your product. I would love to work with you." And that relationship has fostered over time. But literally, like, 9/10 of the videos are me saying how great it is because it's truly great and it changed my life. And it did make things simpler in our lives. So I'm like, this is not like, I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, I can't wait to sell all these people on this thing." That's not what I think.
No.
I'm sitting here going,
like, I am so passionate because it really has helped.
Yes, I am that friend that's like, no, I'm kind of annoying in the sense where I'm like, "No, I literally have a solution for you. Let me tell it to you." And it's like, it comes from such a place of like, I just want so badly to help. And I just want, I don't want anybody to ever go through what I ever went through. It's just fun. It's fun to help. It's fun to help. Anyway.
I love it. And I'm going to post all over, like, when we launch this episode next week, we'll make sure that all of your stuff is on there. So all of your handles, but everything is Keep It Simple Sparkles. It's all there. It's so easy. You made things super easy. Your branding's awesome. Obviously, I'm a little partial to it, but thank you so much for coming on the podcast and catching up. You're welcome. You brought a whole different perspective, and I was like, I need to have Courtney on here. Like, she is awesome. So I'm so proud of everything that you've done, and I'm glad we've been able to stay connected over the last 10 plus years.
Me too. Yeah, I agree. Now, are you still making cakes or no? Are you done?
No. Got out of that business when I got out.
Yeah.
I was doing
no, but I mean, just
before.
like for yourself.
No, I did all the deliveries, which is why you saw me. It's because I only did the deliveries and washed dishes. Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
I'm
the janitor in my company too.
See? Yeah. We do it all.
We do it all. We do it all. Okay. This was so much fun. Yes. Thank you so much for having me on.
Of course.
This was anytime you just let me know. I know my schedule is crazy, but like anytime if you want to do another one, if you want to sit down and we can go through like terrible, nasty comments and talk.
Yes. Oh my God, that's a great idea. I love that. I love all the tea and the negative comments. Let's just do it. Is it Jimmy Fallon that does the like where you read the mean tweets?
Yes, I did have one lady. Okay, I'll tell you this one little story.
Yeah.
My first ever viral video, it was for a pot roast, like how to make easy pot roast. And I still maintain that is the best recipe you will ever make. It's so easy. But I used one of the pot roast crock pot liners. And I had so many people angry about this. But this one lady, she was French. And she commented in French, like how angry she was. And I translated it because I was like, I got to see what she's saying. Then she came back on a couple hours later and left a whole new, brand new, different comment about how angry she was. I was like, you literally left. And then, because you could see the timestamp. And I was like, oh my gosh, like,
wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny.
So anyways, we spark feelings in others, as Lightning McQueen says.
I'm learning all about that one. Yes.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Of course. It was so great catching up, and we will be in touch for sure. We will continue to follow, and you will help me move into my new house. So thank you for that.
Heck yeah. You're welcome. Right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for listening. I'm your host, Ashley Mastowski. Tune in next time for more inspiration and stories from women who've made an impact. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Special shout out to Little Dog Social Media for making all of this come together.